this is why that, in conjunction with structured walks, help redefine relationships that are broken. So when we're talking to these owners and they're complaining about, let's just say it's resource guarding or something, and then they start asking, well, why are we focusing on this no free lunch policy, or why are we focusing on healing? Why is that so important? Could you guys just break that down for anybody who's got a new dog that might be like Bullet? Why focusing on a structured walk, and why really reeling everything back to like a no free lunch policy is so important in fixing the overall picture?
Got it. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, dogs don't understand how hard we all work to give them the best life possible. Like, they don't have any understanding that when their person is gone all day, they're out working to be able to afford to buy not just food, but treats and toys and a nice house to stay in and vet care and training. And again, everything good in a dog's life comes from their person, and they don't understand that. So the best way to kind of reiterate, like, hey, everything good in your life does come from me. And it doesn't mean that you have to be mean or draconian, to get this message across. But, existential feeding, especially in the beginning, is so beneficial, because not only is the food coming directly from you as opposed to this inanimate bowl where food just magically appears, which can devalue food over time as well. But you can use those moments to, hand feed your dog, work on basic training. Like I tell people, especially if you get if you have a puppy or a rescue, take however much food they would normally get in a meal, put it in a treat bag or whatever, and just play the name game. Like if your dog's name is Valkyrie, Valkyrie, yes, treat, Valkyrie, and teach them their name that way, or use their food just to build basic behaviors, which in all honesty, whenever we see a dog that doesn't want to eat kibble at home, and we've met some people who the owners are cooking better for their dogs than they are themselves because their dog won't eat. And it's like, well, because dogs are programmed to want to work for their food, in some way or another. They're all descended from wolves, and it's in their DNA that, they want to work for food in some capacity. So, that's one tool in your arsenal, but that's not everything. The 4 rewards that dogs are willing to work for once they're in the right state of mind, food, attention, affection, toys, if it's a toy they actually want, and then access. So that's a huge one that people can use throughout the day. If you know that your dog wants to go outside and they're standing over by the door, put your hand on the door, ask for a simple sit, which is the equivalent of please. Please equals eye contact, no barking, simple sit. So put your hand on the door, sit, yes, open the door. I just granted you access to where you wanted to go. So we start using that on day 1, especially if the dog isn't ready to take food from us yet. We'll use, say please before you leave the kennel, before you leave the crate, before we go outside, before we take you into the pen to go do your business. So it just starts, it's just this little micro session that you can use throughout the day, every day, that compounds, and the dog starts looking at you like, okay, before I get the things that I want, I have to show a little sign of respect. And it's not like we're asking them, before you get food, you have to go herd, 100 cattle before sunup, like, no, like it's just a little micro session that you can utilize throughout each day. And it transfers, it compounds over time, and it translates to the dog like, okay, like this person, they got my best interest in mind.